she lied under oath when she told investigators she'd never used performance-enhancing drugs. The admission is a stunning reversal and sends shockwaves across the country.
If you have more injuries now, because you've been aging a little bit or you've been in the sport for a while, and there's a chance you can heal quicker by taking a certain product, there's a lure there to take it as well. It's not just about performance.
I tell you, man, this propaganda situation is no joke in America. I tell you, no joke in America, you know. So now you see in the images, I make sure I put that first so you can understand the propaganda with images of showing athletes sticking a syringe, a needle in their backside or in their stomach or whatever. You know, just to let you know that, you know, they showing you images so you get in your head to say, well, this is how it's working and this is what is happening, man. But, you know, this whole video, this is part 2, of course. I was going to put this video out right after, but I said, you know what? Let me see the numbers go up. Let me get some more views on the first one instead of just putting the second one out right away. Because, you know, people attention span, they move forward very fast. That's why I don't have intros. I get straight to the point. So, part 1, this week we're doing part 2. And this is about Victor Conte, right? The Mr. Conte, right? And how he capitalized on these athletes. And he is still capitalizing on these athletes with this snack, okay? And, you know, it seems to amaze me how the situation with snack is moving along with these athletes. And they're not seeing the bigger picture, right? And not sitting back and thinking and analyzing what Victor Conte was doing and is still doing, right, to this day. So, we're going to do a little bit of history about Victor Conte, and we're going to talk about the compound that he gave Mario Jones and some of the other athletes, and what was his agenda. And he knew that one day he was going to get caught. Come on. But he knew he could capitalize on getting caught to get his product where it is today. So let's move on and let's do some history on Conte, and I'll give you a breakdown after I show you some clips of videos on how I see Victor Conte is capitalizing on athletes to this day. Yeah. All right, let's move on.
And someone's about to get burned. An anonymous tipster has gotten hold of a vial containing a designer steroid, the same substance Marion Jones was given by Conte before the Olympics. The vial is sent to the United States Anti-Doping Agency, known as USADA.
The U.S. Anti-Doping Agency, for most of their time, has been an almost symbolic role of running behind the cheaters and not able to catch them. And USADA at first didn't quite know what to do with it.
For help, USADA sends the sample to labs at UCLA.
I was the main person in the U.S. who knew about anabolic steroids. It took a couple of months of hard chemistry, but eventually we figured it out.
What they discovered is Victor Conte's designer steroid, called the Clear. His once undetectable substance has been exposed. And it's only a matter of time before its users are too.
The USADA began a full-on investigation into BALCO because the tip was that this was being distributed by BALCO.
I knew that Conte didn't have the background to be a chemist, so I kept pushing and shoving and finally got the name of Patrick Arnold. He was making the drug, packaging it, and sending it to Conte, who connected with the athletes who came into BALCO to get their drugs.
The USADA has pulled back the curtain on Conte's illegal doping operation. And in September 2003, the jig is finally up.
All of a sudden, I'm standing there looking out the window, and here comes these black Buicks, and they get out, and they've got guns, and I'm just in a state of I'm stunned in a state of shock, and they came in screaming, "Federal agents! We've got a search warrant!" Well, they didn't find anything in the laboratory.
What they do find are documents implicating one professional athlete after another in the use of banned substances. And the nation watches in shock as its heroes are brought down overnight.
The caliber of athletes whose names showed up when the BALCO investigation began was mind-blowing. Barry Bonds was one of the biggest athletes in the world at the time. Jason Giambi's name came out. It completely rocked the sports world.
SADA, right? They had no clue what that compound was. No clue. They couldn't figure out. Their labs could not figure out what that compound was. So they sent it to UCLA labs, and a chemist over there figured out, broke the compound down, its molecule structure and everything, and come to find out, Victor Conte is not no chemist, right? Come to find out, he did some research. You come to find out his partner in crime was Patrick Arnold. So, blah, blah, blah. But notice how USADA couldn't, they are a private organization. They're all private, right? So, and they still couldn't figure out that compound. Ain't that something? So they had to take it to UCLA to figure it out. And it takes months to figure it out. So finally, Victor Conte gets caught. Now, like Victor Conte said, in his labs, it was nothing to show that it was his compound. But guess what he had in his file? Folders and folders of athletes taking it. Isn't that something else? You leaving evidence behind of all these athletes. All these athletes. Now, let me tell you something about the Satan, the devil, the Shaitan. It's a way how they use some truth to disguise their evil, right? And when it comes to Victor Conte, this is what he did, and this is what he's still doing. Regardless if he's not in the game no more of doing illegal compounds, he capitalized on his situation. Now, let's do a little bit of history. Let's because they show people taking injections of this compound called the Clear. That's what it's called, right? Clear. And actually, you know what? Let's go to the video. And I'm trying to break this down to show you that images that people show you is not always what it is. Okay? So let's go. Come on. So let's do a little bit of research on Victor Conte and his compound of choice that he mustered up in order for Marion Jones to get wiped off the history of being an athlete, took a gold medals and all this stuff. So let's go to stereo profile and let's see if we can find this compound called Clear. Okay, we got Anajar, Anavar, Deca, Dynamo, Equipause, Alistine, Masteron, Anavar. We got Trend. Okay, all steroid profiles A to Z. Bingo. All right, so let's see what happens now. All right, here we go. So now we're looking for this thing called Clear. All right, let me go down because I found it before, but I'm trying to see if I could get it right. Oh, there we go. Let me zoom in. Clear. See what it says? It says Clear right there. Clear. All right, so AKA THG, but we're going to go to the one that says Clear. Click it. And we're going to get right up to it. Now, okay, so Clear. Let me go. I ran through this a little bit already. So let's go here, right? Initially, Clear. We can say right here. Initially, Clear was developed by after Victor Conte was complimented on his ZMA study on the internet by Patrick Arnold. You know the word. I don't feel like reading this shit, okay? Blah, 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 whatever. So Victor Conte and Patrick Arnold or whatever, they conjure up this damn so-called Clear that was undetected. You can't detect it and all this stuff. And it passes the drug test, rah, rah, rah. But you know what's so funny? Wait, before I go to that, right? Let me go down here. Okay, so it says BALCO right there, THG. Okay, but in the movie with Marion Jones, the documentary, it was showing an image of her sticking a needle in her, right? You see how propaganda and how things are funny, how things make you look, but to what I'm knowing here, it doesn't have to be stuck in you. It's a 17 alpha. And you ask me, what is 17 alpha and what does that mean? Well, it says here on a milligram for milligram basis, I would suspect it's probably, see right here it says, on milligram basis, I would suspect it's probably going to be very potent, and maybe somewhere between 5 to 10 milligrams a day would be appropriate. The method of the administration for BALCO athletes, Victor Conte BALCO, on the program was to take a few drops of it and allow it to be absorbed under the tongue. Personally, I would have liked to see how it perform as a nasal spray. Okay, and you can see right here, THG, which is AKA for clear, which is essentially a 17 alpha. Oh, so what does 17 alpha mean? What does 17 alpha mean? Okay, so let me tell you what 17 alpha mean. Let me go back to steroid profile and explain to what 17 alpha is, just in case you don't get it. I'm gonna pick something that's 17 alpha. Anadrol right here is 17 alpha. Anavar. Well, let's do Anavar. All right. Let me pick Anavar. Bing. No, I get in details with shit, man. I'm tired of this bullshit, man. Tired. Okay. Well, as we can see here, detection time is 3 weeks. Active life is 8 to 12 hours. Right. Women. See now, men on this Anavar have to take a lot for it to work. 20 to 100 milligrams. Woman, it only takes 2.5 to 20 milligrams. I mean, when it comes to steroids and compounds, women, they rule. They could take just a little bit and they could get results. Men, they have to take a certain amount. But let's move on and let me explain what Anavar is and listen to that word 17 alpha.
Oxandrolone is a popular anabolic androgenic steroid brought to the market by Serum Laboratories in 1964 under the trade name Anavar, a rather mild steroid. Anavar is a dihydrotestosterone derivative and is one of the most side effect friendly steroids on the market. Carrying a very mild androgenic nature with almost no androgenic activity, Anavar is highly anabolic. However, its mild nature will not yield as much anabolic activity as its structural nature would imply. Anavar is a C17 alpha alkylated anabolic steroid. This refers to a structural change of the hormone at the 17th carbon position that allows it to be ingested orally and survive the first pass through the liver. A necessary trait in order for its survival.
Thank you.
Unfortunately.
Shut up. So a 17 alpha is changed, the molecule structure, in order it could be just digested from the liver. I'm not that freaking smart, but come on, man. Do your research. All right? So when you see Marion Jones and they're showing a picture, in a documentary of the actor that looked like Marion Jones sticking a needle in her on the side of her ass or whatever, bro, it's a couple of drops under the tongue and is absorbed, right? All right, so with men it's different. Okay, men, when they take compounds orally or injectable, they have to supplement with synthetic testosterone, because what happens is these steroids, once you take these steroids, it shuts down your natural, what you was born with, your natural testosterone. Just in case people don't understand where I'm coming from, I don't talk with big words, so this shit should be easy. All right? It shuts down your testosterone, your natural testosterone, and it shrinks your balls. It does not shrink your penis. It shrinks your balls, your reproduction, your sperm count, all that stuff. So what happens with men, they have to take synthetic testosterone, which the body will take it and is friendly to it. Okay, and in my video, I will go further down the line and understand why the body accepts synthetic testosterone. And I will talk you about ratio and rah, 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 and all this stuff. All right? But when women take compounds like this, it's easy work for them. It's easy work. Okay? And they can excel easy, and they don't have to worry about taking synthetic this. And all they have to do is take the compound and watch the magic happen. But on the other hand, if a man takes it, they make sure they have to supplement with synthetic testosterone, and right, basically. All right, so let's move on to my channel. Shall we? Yeah. All right, so since we got that clear, right? That the clear is a 17 alpha, right? And you could ingest it. Now, for women, you could men and women, they could either couple drops under the tongue. But the difference between a man and a woman could take it, easy work. A man, well, if they take that compound, that steroid that was broken down, the molecule structure or whatever, if they take that, they might have issues with their natural testosterone, so they have to take synthetic testosterone. And with that, you need an injection. That's it. But that compound itself is a liquid or a nasal spray. That's it. Okay? No hard work for a woman. All right? So where I'm coming with the conclusion, now we're going to go into testosterone, right? And Manny Pacquiao and Errol Spence. All right? But before that, I'm trying to let you know that Victor Conte, before he goes on to do these little clips talking about boxers or MMAs in the future, I'm trying to clip his wings right now. And anybody or any athletes that's seeing this, I'm trying to let you understand, by the fan or a supporter of mixed martial arts or boxing or anything like that, I don't think you should be snacking on his nuts. Honestly, I think his snack program is trash, and I won't support it, and I'm going to tell you why. And the reason why I think this is because he capitalized. He capitalized. See, he knew how United States work with certain people, right? And he's one of those certain people. Not bringing up certain things. I'm just saying he's one of those certain people that it works for him. All right? So, you know, I think he got like 4 months. Marion Jones got 6 months, including the contempt of court or whatever, lying under oath and stuff like that. So I think she got like 6 months or something like that. And they made an example out of her. And some of the other athletes, but they made more of an example out of her. But look what happened with Conte. Did they make an example out of him? Did they make an example out of him? Oh, they didn't make an example. Let me explain why they didn't make an example, which they should have, because him and Patrick Arnold made a chemical. A chemical. But till this day, he's still moving on with his life. And let me give you the example why he's still moving on. Let's move on.
It's difficult for me to watch not only Marion Jones, but other athletes lie. From the very beginning, my approach was, if I'm ever going to have a productive life after all this, I need to step up, tell the truth, and do it for all the right reasons, which is what I did.
In December 2004, Conte goes on national television and reveals his dark secrets. He claims he supplied performance-enhancing drugs to his one-time partner in crime, Marion Jones, before and during the 2000 Summer Olympics.
I simply told the truth. Yes, I had provided these substances and she took them knowingly, and this is what happens at the elite level of sport.
It was almost as if he was proud of what he had accomplished, and because he knew he was getting exposed, Victor decided to expose everyone.
All right, so Victor Conte decides to expose everyone, right? Like they said, when they went to his lab, there was nothing there. But when they went into his cabinet, there was folders of continuous of athletes, not just Marion Jones, different athletes that's been logged in the folder, and they could trace back all the information. And you know, like I said, Victor Conte, he capitalized. He knew that one day he was going to get caught. He knew the end product was this. When I get caught, I will tell the truth. Because let me tell you something. Shaitan, the devil, Satan, whichever way you want to look at it, they have to use some good. They have to use some good in order to trick you with their evilness. Evilness does not just come out and display itself right away, because then you have to decide if you want to take that route or not. Majority of the time, you got to be tricked into evilness. That's the way it is. All right? So, you know, he knew that the end game was this. And you say, well, how can this happen? How can somebody feel like once they get caught, they're going to capitalize? Well, it happens in America. And it happens to certain people in America, okay? They do dirt. We see it all the time. They do dirt. Next thing you know, their name is big. All right? I don't have to name all the people in America that does it and stuff like that and get into detail, but you hear it all the time. Criminal activity, next thing you know, they moved on and they good to go. So I know it's raining. I'm sorry. So what I'm trying to say is Victor Conte knew the end game. And he knew that in order to keep it moving, he told the truth. And it hurt him so bad. It's raining hard, I'm sorry. It hurt him so bad that the athletes had to lie. Yeah, the athletes had to lie. And it hurt him so bad. You know what I'm saying? But he told the truth. And I think Marion Jones got like about 6 months, contempt of court and all this stuff like that. And I think he got like 4 months or some shit like that. Him and Patrick Arnold, they made the chemical. In the United States, they made the chemical now. Okay? And they get like 4 months. All because I guess that he told the truth. That's all you need is the truth, right? Yeah, I'm sure that works all the time. Yeah, sure. Right? So, all I'm saying is, when I see athletes wearing the snack shirt, now don't get me wrong, it's their choice. But in my mind, I'm like, why are you helping this dude capitalize after he destroyed? He helped destroy. The athletes helped himself destroy themselves also. But he was the end game also within their lives. He was a part of their lives ending their life. Simple as that. They both two are guilty. But one knew that he was going to capitalize. And Victor Conte knew he was going to capitalize on this situation, regardless if he got caught or he didn't get caught. And matter of fact, once he got caught and he told the truth, things got better for him. Where the athletes, majority of them got wiped off the record books, and it is what it is. And that's how it goes in America. You could capitalize off doing the worst, depending on situations and who you are. That's one thing. All right, because it doesn't work for everybody in America. Only certain people. I'm not getting into detail. Read between the lines. All right. So, my thing is that when I see athletes with the snack, with the snack T-shirt, I'm like, what are you doing? Because this same dude, when they have a suspicion about a boxer or MMA, he's ready to put his 2 cents in. Because guess what? Once he put his 2 cents in, it helps promote his product. It helps, you see? So while you're using him to make an example about Manny Pacquiao or this one or that one and this and his suspicion, yeah, he's getting something out of it. What he's getting is pushing his agenda with his new snack program, which is legal, right? He doesn't do the illegal activity no more, right? So he's promoting snack. So every time you hear something coming out of his mouth, best believe snack is getting promoted, right? And this is how it is, man. So all I'm saying is enough of Conte, and I'm trying to clip his wings now. And if any of these athletes see this video, and you decide to go that route and sponsor his shit and this and that, just remember, he's not going to talk about you because you got the T-shirt on, right? And you promoting him. Well, the people that don't have the T-shirt on, they're going to get 2 cents out of him, right? You see how he uses these athletes either way to promote his stuff, to promote his snack. So regardless if you wear the t-shirt and you're snacking on his nuts and you are making commercials about it and running back and forth, jumping on fucking blocks and doing all kinds of shit with his, listen, it is what it is. I'm just letting you know that you help promote and capitalize him to go further with his snack program, which I wouldn't do. Maybe I'm seeing things wrong. Maybe I'm backwards. Maybe I'm not understanding it. But this man capitalized on these athletes. Simple as that. Now, recently, Manny Pacquiao got his drug test when he came here by VADA, right? Errol Spence, he got tested by VADA, right? But let's talk about this VADA situation. Because like Victor Conte said, remember the suspicions you had about Manny Pacquiao? Well, let me run that track again, but let me show you the tweet that he put out about VADA one more time. Remember when he was talking about Al Heyman and how Al Heyman doesn't let VADA display certain tests with their athletes? Let me show you again, okay? Because remember, if you could remember with what's this guy? Oh, here we go. Here you gonna bring him up again, Mayweather. Remember, Mayweather broke the rules a lot of times. Yes, he broke the rules. First, he took an IV in his home. That was against USADA, the private organization. It was against their rules to take a IV at home. Second, he didn't have a doctor's permission to take it, right? Third, it was supposed to be 60 or 50 milligrams. He took over that, way over that. 750 milligrams of IV of saline, minerals, vitamins, or whatever, right? But Mayweather said he was dehydrated. He needed to fill his body up with it. So let's go to him first. Let's go with him first, because well, you know what? Let me let you hear it from someone that you represent, because I know these guys that come over here to listen to me. Let's listen to somebody that's talking about Mayweather, and then I'll let Mayweather talk about his weight. Yeah, let's move.
Before I get into the video, let me address something. This is why I hate doing videos about guys like Mayweather and Pacquiao, because of the extreme fanboyism that you have to deal with. Whenever, it doesn't matter what you say, immediately people just jump the gun. If you're not just on your knees with your tongue out, ready to lick ass, they just automatically gonna assume that you're hating on somebody. Or why people were mad at me for even reporting the fucking news, okay? Now, you don't care when I report the news if I'm talking about Kell Brook or if I'm talking about this guy or that guy, but when it's a guy that you like, you don't even want me to talk about it. You want to pretend like it's a non-story. But this is what it is, okay? Sports Illustrated, SB Nation, Bleacher Report, the typical places we usually, ESPN, everybody was talking about this, so I'm fucking reporting on it. Calm the fuck down. Don't be mad at me for reporting a fucking story, okay? If you don't believe it, don't believe it, all right? Some shit is true, some shit ain't true, all right? That's just how it goes. But you got to take the good with the bad. Now, it's being reported, so I'm finna fucking talk about it. End of story. The controversy is that Mayweather allegedly had IVs to take 750 milliliters of vitamins and shit like that to put back in his system after the weigh-in, okay? Now, Floyd did not look drained to me at the weigh-in. He looked like his normal self. I don't understand why he would be that dehydrated where he would need an IV, because when Oscar De La Hoya used the IV, it was because Oscar De La Hoya was superly drained, okay, to try to make a weight that he hadn't made in I don't know how many years, coming down from 160. Now, either Floyd is a big guy draining his stuff down to 147, or he's not. Which one is it? Is he a guy that walks around at 147, 150 all the time? And if that's the case, why would he need an IV to replenish himself? It doesn't even make sense, okay? So it is suspicious, okay? Now, the other controversy here is people are saying Floyd didn't do anything illegal. I don't know what the fuck he did, okay? I'm just reporting the story.
But what I do know is this, according to WADA, the 2015 prohibited list, okay, World Anti-Doping Code, WADA, okay, and this is valid as of January 1st, 2015. I repeat, for the slow people, this is valid as of January 1st, 2015, okay? If you go to section M2, okay, it will clearly show you that what the guy said in the article is true according to WADA's prohibited list. Is this saying that the IVs are illegal, right? It's an illegal method, okay? It's an illegal method, or for putting fluid in your system, unless you have permission, from you went to a hospital and there was something wrong, or shit like that. All right, that's what they're saying. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens. Leonard Ellerbe is supposed to be making a statement to the media, or releasing a press statement sometime soon today. I don't know why he's not on that already. But, maybe by the time I upload the video, the press statement from Leonard Ellerbe will be out. But from what I'm hearing, Mayweather and his team, I saw ESPN First Take this morning. Stephen A. Smith and Skip Bayless talked about it, and they said that Stephen A. Smith was saying that Mayweather's team is denying this, and they're saying that this is, bullshit or whatever. But then I'm also hearing that Mayweather is on the record stating that he took an IV after the Pacquiao fight. I'm not sure. Listen, I was gone for a little couple weeks off of this YouTube shit, so maybe I missed some shit. But I will keep you posted anyway. I'm going to follow the story, and I'll let you know what Leonard Ellerbe has to say. 78 Sports TV, and I'll holler.
During the 16 months that you were off, could you tell us what were the key elements that you decided to employ to keep yourself in shape?
Fighters don't have discipline, or they're not responsible. No discipline. I'm never gonna let myself balloon up in weight. As y'all can see, y'all see the weight when we went in there tonight and collided. He comes in, I think 164, 167. He puts on 17 ounces. I don't know what's the exact weight. 64. I mean, I weighed 150. My weight never go past 150. I stay between 147 and 150. Working on at the fitness at least 3 times a week. When I'm not, doing boxing training. Just to, stay sharp.
I love when 78 said, "Calm the F down. I gotta report the news. I gotta report this news." That's what he said. 78 said. He said, stop. Just calm down. He has no choice. He have to report the news, right? But some of his followers are big-time Floyd fans, and they don't like to hear that news. They don't want to hear that, right? So, like I said, when you on a channel, you only want to hear what you want to hear. But if you're on my channel, you don't want to hear it. So that's why I'm putting the display of 78, or anybody that you think is pro this or pro that, or more on one side than the other. I let you listen to them instead of listening to me. And then I let you listen to Mayweather, Floyd fans. Because guess what? He just told you, I don't balloon up in weight. I was out 16 months. This is when he had retired or some shit like that, right? I was out 16 months. I never balloon up in weight. I keep my weight around 147, 150. Never any higher than that. But let's say I give him 154, because he's a little older now. I'll say, but why would you need 750 milligrams of saline, vitamins, minerals? Why would you need that? All right? And like I said, USADA is a private organization. They couldn't even get it right with Victor Conte compound to clear. They couldn't even figure it out. And they're a private organization. They're supposed to be having the best chemists and the best labs, right? They had to send to UCLA, and this man at UCLA, a chemist over there, they found out basically what it was. So people be saying, oh, VADA, USADA, WADA, all this shit, man. But in detail, they ain't even getting this shit right. Right? Right. So there's a lot of suspicions with Mayweather. He broke the rules not once, twice, 3 times. about 3 or 4 times. Doing it in his house, not having a medical, not going to the doctor to get a medical, not doing in a doctor's, in a hospital to take the IV. Took it at home. He broke the law. Then he instead of doing 50 or 60, he did 750. Then he get this TUE. Then he broke USADA broke the rules by not notifying Manny Pacquiao's camp after 3 weeks after the whole situation, after the fight. So there's so many suspicions, right? But do Manny Pacquiao have any suspicions? Oh, his big head, right? That's the only suspicions you got. But this man been breaking the rules time and time again. But no. All right, so we done with Mayweather. I'm not getting into Mayweather, right? This is about Errol Spence and Manny Pacquiao in the situation now. They both took their VADA test, right? Good to go. Because, Spence, right? At one time, they was making a big deal about his little tata. One of his tatas was swollen than the other. Okay? And a lot of people think that, they don't understand the science to it. Usually that happens to, kids when they're going through puberty and stuff like that. Or maybe, he put on some weight, but I'm giving him the benefit of doubt. I mean, everybody can say suspicion. You could say Manny has a big old head, and that's the suspicion. Well, I could say Spence got a one side big tata, right? You got a tata right there, right? And it's swollen. And you'll be like, well, why are you looking at his titties? Why all this bullshit. But it's a suspicion because when it comes to testosterone, whoa, what the hell is this dude? When it comes to testosterone, there are side effects. Your body do aromatize. Everybody out here aromatize testosterone different. Yes, they do. Okay, so we're going to get into testosterone. Hold on. Just got home. Give me a minute. Let me get my shit together. And we'll get back to that. Let me pause. All right, so it's another day. I'm at work, have a break. Couldn't finish the video yesterday after work. But I'm at the end of the video now. And this is about Errol Spence and Manny Pacquiao. I'm going to wrap this up right away. And I'm going to give you something to read between the lines in your brain to think that, do all this matter in the first place? On both sides, okay? Because you say Manny has a big head. Some other fans will say Errol got a big nipple, which he doesn't have now, but he had in the future. Those are indications. They say a big head indicates HGH. A swollen nipple indicates too much of something, testosterone, because it converts into estrogen in everybody's body, and everybody individual out here converts testosterone into estrogen. It depends on how they filter it out. Your body filters it out differently in every individual. So I showed you a clip about VADA and the suspicion that Mr. Victor Conte has with Manny Pacquiao, but not also Manny Pacquiao. He has a suspicion with Al Haymon and VADA, not USADA. USADA's not in this now. VADA. And his suspicion is like, well, it's funny in that tweet or whatever, that statement that Victor Conte just said, if you pause it and look at it, it says Al Haymon does not let VADA display its drug testing of its boxers in the PBC. So I was saying to myself, well, do it matter? Do it matter? Is his suspicion true about, as much as you want to have suspicion about Manny Pacquiao, is this statement true also, containing VADA and Al Haymon and the PBC fighters? Because now the next excuse is y'all going to start reaching again. And then all of a sudden, y'all big pro PBC, but next thing you know, shit don't go right in the fight, and Manny Pacquiao beat Errol Spence. I'm not going to hear complain about, well, there's some kind of conspiracy with the PBC and Al Haymon, and then you're going to start reaching for Victor Conte in the future. Stop it. Stop it. All right? So I'm clipping that wing also. Leave it alone. because it's going to be looking like you're reaching. All right? So, now, where I'm getting at with this is this. Listen. In Las Vegas, right? Well, matter of fact, before I talk about Las Vegas, right? Let me ask you a question. Hold on, let me get my phone. Let's ask my lady here, all right? Come on. Come on. Oh, Lord, sorry, I hate when I'm not prepared, and I should have prepared myself. Okay, let me ask my lady. What is synthetic testosterone?
According to WebMD, question, what is synthetic testosterone? Answer, this anabolic steroid is a form of testosterone usually produced from soy or yams in factories, not the human body. It can be introduced into the body by injection, with patches or other means.
So my lady here said, what is synthetic testosterone? I'll say it again. A steroid is form of testosterone usually produced from soy and yams in factories, not the human body. It can be introduced into the body by injection with patches or other means. All right? So you got patches, you got gels, you got pellets, you got injection, you got all these things, right? And just like there's a half-life to certain testosterones. Testosterone is regular. Synthetic testosterone is synthetic testosterone. As you heard the woman said right here, it's produced in a factory. Well, everything's effing produced in the factory. Anderson, all these things. But the key thing is, the background root to this with testosterone is made up of maybe fermented soy, but it's soy, and yams. And the body can relate to it. The body can relate to it. It mimics it. So if you give somebody synthetic testosterone, your body will love it. I mean, it mimics it. It's similar to the body, and it's soy, right? You know, the shit on the from the ground, root from the ground, and wild yams. And the way it's like that, you know, soy is built up with estrogen, and yams is like a precursor to testosterone. Okay? And what happens is when you have your body, my body, your body, listen, let me get this straight. When you're young, because people always worried about side effects and shit, but I'm giving you a little one-on-one course on testosterone. When you're young, your natural body, right? Your own body, you're not getting no synthetic testosterone. You're going up to puberty, right? Everything is hormones. Everything is hormones. You're going up to puberty. Well, don't you get side effects from your own puberty? When I was young, I didn't get acne, but you did. When you got older, when you was going through puberty, didn't you have a swollen gland? Huh? Didn't you have swollen glands in your breasts? Well, I did, but you didn't, right? Mood change. The mood changes because you're going through puberty. Your body and the brain, because a lot of people don't think it's not just physical. It's mental. And let me make a point right here. It's when I say it's mental. When I say this word transgender, when you have a man turn into a woman and a woman turn into a man, please don't get offended. I'm just making an example, okay? So don't be like, I said the word transgender and I'm trying to point fingers and make fun of nobody. It's just an example about what I'm trying to say about testosterone or any hormone that you introduce to the body. Now, if you're a transgender person and you're a man turned to a woman to the man, if you ever watch some of them on YouTube and they try to explain that they're taking hormone supplements, they're taking testosterone or they're taking estrogen, no matter what sex they're trying to change, the characteristics of a man or characteristics of a woman, yes, you will see that. But mentally, ask them, how do they think? A woman turns to a man and be like, wow, man, I didn't know how it is on the man's side. Sexually, I mean, I'm thinking about sex more. And then a man turned into a woman, they say, wow, I'm more emotional and I have more feelings, and I'm you know, it's a mental thing. It's a mental thing too. So like I said, everything is hormones. Woman, when you take birth control, it tricks the body into thinking it's pregnant. Correct? Oh, women, when you go through menopause, right? It's hormonal. You don't need eggs no more. So the estrogen levels changes, right? And then you start noticing when you don't have menopause and you don't have your period no more, a lot of things start changing in your body. Yeah. You start to get a little bit older quicker and stuff like that. So I'm using examples that synthetic testosterone, testosterone replacement therapy, TRT, all these things is good for the body. I don't got nothing against steroids. Let me tell you, I ain't got nothing against steroids and TRT. Okay? Especially testosterone replacement therapy. I have nothing against that. Or anything that could help the body. Okay? You take vitamins, fine. Like I said, vitamin D is not a vitamin. It's a hormone. The sun hits your skin. What happens? It's the precursor. Once it hits your skin, yes, you get a tan, but you also get vitamin D. You go to the supplement store. You buy vitamin D. But it's not a vitamin. It's considered a hormone. And people will look at me right now and say, I don't know what I'm talking about. What a hormone is. So, sometimes I just got to say, my lady, vitamin D, is it a hormone or a vitamin?
According to you and your less than B greater than hormones less than B greater than. Vitamin D is actually a hormone rather than a vitamin. It is required to absorb calcium from the gut into the bloodstream.
All right, so, I have no problem with hormones and all this stuff. The only problem I have with it is when you're doing it in professional sports, right? Because somebody could get... People are dying in boxing already on just nothing, all right? With the wrong hit, rabbit punches, all kinds of shit. Being disabled and stuff like that. So when you take certain steroids or even SARMs or even peptides or even spinning your blood, rich plasma to make you more energetic, there's so many ways we could go this way with steroids. It's not a big deal, right? But the big deal is that if you're in the ring and you hurt somebody and you disable them or put them in a wheelchair or a vegetable or they die and you took it, there's a problem. And I always say, Manny Pacquiao's my man. I love him. I got no problem. I raised up on all his fights, and he gave me good days on those days that he fought that made me remember and enjoyed watching him. And he put something in me and everything. But I said, look, if he gets caught doing steroids, I'll disown him. Simple as that. Right? Look at Canelo. He got popped twice. It's not that I don't like Canelo. I like Canelo. All right? He got popped twice. But it's his fans that irritates me. Because it seems like they just let that shit go over their head and they're talking about, oh, he took a hair sample from his pubic hairs. Well, tell me, who did it? Instead of you telling me that he got a hair sample, all right? Because anybody could just say he did that. Well, where did he get it from? Did he get it from WADA, VADA? USADA's not in this no more. Did VADA do the hair sample? Because as I know, VADA is better than USADA. And they have the carbon isotope that could tell if you've been taking synthetic testosterone. So if they have that, I'm sure they could take a hair sample that could go 6 months back. But I'm just hearing it. I'm not seeing the proof. So don't get me wrong. I like Canelo. I like his upper movement, torso movement, everything. I think he's great. But what I don't like about Canelo is his fans. And then when I see the fans talk about Manny Pacquiao and his big head and this and that, and no, they'll have no accusations, no speculations, no, all this stuff, but suspicion. But when it comes to Canelo, well, we could bypass that. And that's why I get on Canelo's ass. I got nothing wrong with the man. He's a good fighter. He's one of the ones that I like to watch, to tell you the truth. But I won't give the satisfaction to the fans because everybody's on the same page with Canelo being the best and he never could do wrong. While Manny Pacquiao never got busted, never got popped. Same thing with Mayweather. He got popped. I mean, he got so many suspicions on him. And plus, he did fail some tests, right? His testosterone levels, right, was of an old man when they run his test, right? But you don't have to take my advice. You don't have to take what I'm saying is true or not, because you're in favor of the box that you have. But like I said, if Manny Pacquiao does the same thing, if he got popped just like Canelo, I'll disown my credit for him would be less than what it is right now. So that's all I'm saying. I'll leave a description below on this man here that's talking about it. You might have saw this video, but I'm going to put his outlook on what happened with Mayweather, Manny Pacquiao. But this is the ending of this video I'm coming to say now, right? Almost forgot. This fight is in Vegas. Am I right? And in Vegas, what is the ratio? Is it 4-1, 5-1, or is 6-1? Well, if it's 6-1 ratio for your testosterone levels, well, the average person out here is 1-to-1 ratio. You got your testosterone and you got your epitest. You have these two things in your body, and the ratio have to be the same, because one, the epi, it never changes. It never changes. So if you have a 32-to-1, that means your testosterone is off the chart. VADA will suspect that, and VADA will test that with the isocarp. They would test that and know that you've been using synthetic testosterone, right? But if you 50-to-50, well, that shows a 1-to-1 ratio. You understand what I'm saying? And if you don't, I'll let the description below. You can listen to this guy explain the whole thing. So now what I'm saying is, do all this matter with VADA? Because Manny Pacquiao's 42. Errol Spencer's up there. He's 33. Most human beings, their testosterone levels start to drop by 35. But this man is 33 and he's an athlete. He's not an average Joe. These athletes are mutants. You understand? Because their levels are higher than the average Joe. Average Joes only go to the gym once a week, or maybe not at all. So you can never be on the same plateau you can't be on the same level as an athlete, because they're mutants. This is their job. The gym rats in the gym, they different from the average Joe because they're in there every day, Monday through Friday. When I'm in the gym, I see the same heads. Only time I don't see the same heads of people is when there's a Happy New Year's and everybody want to go to the gym because they have a New Year resolution. Whatever. But these are mutants in the gym because they're in there working there all day, every day, just like these boxers and these athletes. So what I'm trying to get at is VADA is doing the test. So if Errol Spence decides that he wants to take testosterone, or Manny Pacquiao decides to take testosterone, guess what? It doesn't matter, because 6-to-1, an average man is 1-to-1. The highest you could go is 1-to-3. After that, it's freak show, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, and if Las Vegas is allowing 6-to-1 ratio, right? What do it matter about this so-called drug testing? What do it matter? Because at one time, even WADA, W-A-D-A, was 6-to-1. Then they dropped it down to 4-to-1. I remember I think 2006 WADA was 6-to-1. And they had to drop it down to 4-to-1. But Nevada Athletic Commission is 6-to-1. I don't know as is it today, but I haven't heard. I've been looking it up. Nothing changed. It's still 6-to-1. That's why your boy Mayweather never left Vegas. And that's suspicious also. So that's all I got to say. I mean, this is a long video, but see me, I like to get everything out. And I always like to put it on Friday or Saturday. So when you keep hearing the same shit over from other channels, I give you something else to sit back and look at, man. Because I know there's a lot of boxing fans like me that are always scrolling down looking for different channels to just enjoy and listen to information. So you don't have to believe my information. You know, like I always say, and this is the ending of the video, I'm not here to change your mind. I'm just giving you information for you to read between the lines. You come up with all your own ideas and your own conclusion. All right, man. All right, so I'm putting a nail at this Victor Conte and how I feel about him and how I think athletes should feel about him and don't support him. That's my opinion. We went down the line with testosterone. We went down the line with the what he had with Victor Conte and Claire and his history of other athletes. We just went down the line with Errol Spence. He took his blood test with VADA. Manny Pacquiao took his blood test with VADA. We went down the line at the conclusion of this video that do it really matter if you have a 6-to-1 ratio in Nevada and not a 4-to-1, right? Would it matter, right? So, at the end of this video, if you have suspicions about Victor Conte talking about Manny Pacquiao, well, you must have suspicion about Mayweather's USADA. You must have suspicions of Al Heyman and PBC and Al Heyman not giving results of the boxers that did VADA testing. You must have a lot of suspicion included with Victor Conte. And if it's not the same energy on each level, then let's get Victor Conte the F out of here, and let's not ever bring this man up when it comes to athletes, because when you bring him up, what you bring up is helping, you help this fool with his product snack. And at the end of the day, you just got to snack on these nuts if you're helping him. End of story. I'm not here for you to change your mind. I'm here for you to read between the lines. Have a nice day. If not, whatever.